Hello, everybody. We're doing games today. I'm here. Zach's here.
I'm here. We're doing the Guess Who game. And
Yeah.
Guess Who is also here.
Yeah. It's Mira.
Hi, Mira's here. Hi, Tom.
Mira's gonna be
Hi,
on
Zach.
my team. Oh, and I'm casually recording my OBS. Yeah.
Ooh!
Yeah. Okay. Mira's on my team. Zach, who's on your team?
I have the esteemed Mandy and R.I.G.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yes, we're also here.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Oh, I'm gonna buy a soundboard so I can use more air horns.
All right.
Plethora of air horns.
Okay. And while we're doing this, everyone who is watching at home, you will be seeing my screen. This is my perspective. This is me and Mira playing. All right, Zach, you ready?
Yeah.
We are each
I'm
going
drawing.
to hover this thing and press the number 1 key.
We're
And
going to press R a bunch first.
This
Make sure we
is
get the same
this is
card.
our person.
This is our person, team.
Okay.
There are many
Oh,
persons like
okay.
it. This one is ours.
This
Mira,
is a
Mira
great person to
confirming you can
have.
see?
Yes, Tom, I can see.
Excellent. All right.
we drew a good card. That was a good card.
This is a great person.
And
to
remember,
have.
these are from 2 different decks, so they can be repeats.
Yeah.
As we
We can have the same
established
person.
in an extremely funny scenario.
Yeah.
Wait, was there
As we-
a game that you guys filmed where it was repeating?
Oh no, there was a game where we didn't shuffle the decks. We were guessing the same character. Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful.
This
It was
is
quite funny.
this is Guess Who. I'm not going to explain the rules because it's Guess Who. If you don't know how to play Guess Who, you should probably go and learn that before watching this video.
It's not a game we made up. The rules to it are pretty well established.
Yeah. All right, Zach. Do you want to go first, or should we go first?
I'll go first with the first question.
'Kay.
Well, for those who haven't watched the video before, we have a lot of fun with our Guess Who questions here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take a look at all the characters that are in front of me and say, in the real life AU version, where these are all people you would find in run of the mill, like America, generic suburban whatever. Did this character play sport in high school?
Oh.
Absolutely.
All day. 100%.
Yes.
Okay. 100% played. Okay. So now we have to go through. Team, we're gonna go through every single character that's in front of us and determine whether they played a sport in high school. Tywin was the quarterback on his high school football team and still remembers it fondly.
Yeah, Tywin played football for sure. I was going to say Jaime also played football because of his dad. Tyrion, I feel like didn't play football because his father made him clean the gutters.
No, I don't.
feel like
because-
it's an edge case. I could see Tyrion playing tennis, but yeah, I think just
Tyrion
not
was on the
definite.
gymnastics team.
Oh, you're totally right. He's on the
Yeah,
gymnastics team.
true.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. Well, also, I will contest though. I mean, like our high school didn't have a gymnastics team, but I took gymnastics. He might have taken gymnastics somewhere else outside of high school. So just just saying, just putting it out there.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Cersei was a cheerleader, which is an edge case. People also said like, "Oh, I think Jamie's dating that one a cheerleader," and then somebody's like, "No, that's his sister." Right.
Pycelle, I weirdly enough, I feel like he probably was forced to play football when they wore those strange leather caps, but he didn't enjoy it that much. But I also feel like he could be a flip because like he is a Pycelle,
Yeah,
so,
he
I
was
mean,
on the
He
chess
would've
team.
enjoyed
He was on the swim team back in the day, but yeah, he's not a definitely.
I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know
not
why.
definitely.
Enthusiastic. This guy played sports.
Yeah,
On
the
the
mountain.
swim
Played
team.
sports.
The mountain was like what's the rushing line for something, or he was the guy who's like right in the
He's
front.
a running back for sure.
Yeah, he's like right in the
He's
front of the
meant to
line in
just plow
football.
through a bunch of people. Yeah.
I think he's a
Joffrey-
rugby guy.
I feel like Joffrey is one of those kids who like they're popular because their parents are rich, but they don't have to play any sports to be popular.
Joffrey thought he'd be a good basketball player, and then the world reminded him that there are taller people who can jump higher.
Also, you can't shoot the basketball with a crossbow.
I think Joffrey would make Cersei buy him some top notch equipment for sport, but he wouldn't be actually playing. He would be just showing off his stuff and be like, "I'm better than you. I don't need to play."
Yeah, he's the kind of guy who would have an Olympic-sized swimming pool built and then be like, "No, it's just for looking at."
Yeah. He's got the best golf clubs imaginable.
But never plays.
Yes. Marcella, I don't know. Marcella's a theater kid. We've established this.
Yeah, I don't know that Marcella's doing sports. So yeah, I would say maybe, but maybe not.
Do you consider chess a sport? Because she plays Savas.
It's true. Yeah. She also has that sort of vibe where
I personally think chess is more of a game than a sport, so I could see her in the gaming clubs for sure, or in the manga club. But I couldn't see her, on the sport. I don't think she'd do track and field personally. Tommen loves to joust.
She's got
Tommen
sort of energy to her.
Tommen would play sports in high school. He loves to joust and shit, but he's not in high school. So I feel like, what do we call that one?
Case, though, we didn't define the AU well enough.
Okay.
So
keep him in.
Yeah, we'll keep him up for now, but yeah, absolutely he would play. I feel like Tommen's got a hockey player vibe to him in my mind.
Yeah, he's sweet and kind, but he likes the confrontational sports. Craster played sports. It was by himself, with his own mother, but still he played sports.
Man, I need fewer characters.
He was in the backyard, he was in the backyard, throwing a basketball at his own windows, and his mom was like, "Craster!" that was Craster playing sports.
Gilly's a curling champion.
Gilly is homeschooled.
Gilly is homeschooled, but I think her father prohibits her from playing sports because it's not what women do,
Yeah, she's got a Harry thing going on.
Harry thing at her homeschool prom.
I think she'd be allowed to go ice skating with her sisters.
Yeah, girl kind of stuff, or things that Craster thinks is girl stuff,
Yeah.
Craster's a big traditionalist, but he was also in a band and he also sold drugs behind the school.
Never has anyone said anything more correct.
Mance is that guy that can shoot hoops as though he's on the basketball team, but he just sells dope to the basketball team. He never actually fucking plays.
He's the honorary member of the basketball team because he sells weed at a discount whenever they win.
Yeah,
he's also a menace at ice hockey, but he can't afford equipment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he also sells weed to the hockey team.
He goes down to the Y, where all the other dudes give him the equipment and he throws down, but he doesn't. He doesn't have anything in his house.
Yeah, and that's where he sells weed to the curling team.
Yeah. Rattleshirt. I feel like Rattleshirt didn't attend high school. I feel like he was just straight dropout. Rattleshirt was off literally mugging adults for their fucking money under a bridge during high school.
Rattleshirt was in wrestling until he realized it wasn't WWE wrestling and he couldn't be a literal villain.
Yeah. Rattleshirt showed up to high school because he was told wrestling was elective you could take, and he found out it wasn't Stone Cold Steve Austin teaching, and so he punched the teacher in the mouth and went home.
Yeah, he showed up to 9th grade wrestling with a steel chair, and he killed another student so they wouldn't let him back.
Yeah, Rattleshirt, you just get out of here. No wrestling for you. So Tormund definitely wrestled. Tormund was on the wrestling team, and they all got trashed one time after championships. They got trashed, and he wrestled a bear, real life.
He got trashed.
Well, he says, he claims, if you believe it.
I love that Westeros has just relocated to Canada.
Yeah. They're all upper Midwest trending into Alberta.
Yeah, well, for real though, comment if you're from Canada. The North is basically Canada, canonically, right? Canonically, that's Canada.
I think it's canonically Scotland, but it's kind of the same.
To be fair,
you heard it here, people. Scotland and Canada are the same place.
Alberta is canonically Scotland too.
Scotland, Canada, Scotland and Canada. As a descendant from the Don Cameron clan, I have the legal Scottish authority to say that Scotland and Canada is the exact same place.
There's a whole show about
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
So Ygritte, Yeah, Ygritte, I feel like Def plays sports. She's the chick who wrestles and beats the boys.
Oh, yeah. She's a lacrosse person.
No, yeah, she 100% gives me like I am the best lacrosse
field
player
hockey. Yeah, field hockey. I could see her playing field hockey for sure. She's in the sports. She plays sports.
I feel like Tormund set the most like sports records because he set all the wrestling and hockey records by not knowing which one he was doing at either time. Just it was the same game to him.
He was just hitting people.
He was hitting people, and sometimes he had skates on.
Now Peter Baelish.
He's trying to claim all of his records.
Peter Baelish showed up to try out for football, and Brandon Stark threw him through the field goal post. It's still talked about to this day. all these years afterwards, it's still a legend that Stark threw Baelish over the field goal post one time when he came to try out.
Lysa smoked crack outside of the football field.
No, poor Lysa.
No, Lysa was busy at home in her room alone, not talking to anybody and just looking up weird shit online, writing fanfics and looking up weird creepy shit. Like Mandy, you met Lysa on the internet when you were in high school. You just didn't know it because her screen name was different than the Tullys.
Lysa's name was like XXX love Peter XXX underline darkness.
She wrote those kind of fanfics that make you want to point the person towards a therapist.
Yeah.
You would like open up like her fanfic, and it's like an AU where she has like a harem of pretty boys, and they're all Peter Baelish.
So this is where it gets interesting because show Sweet Robin Def played sports in high school. Book Sweet Robin, we don't even know if he'll live that long, and like we hope he does. But like, will he play sports? Is he a sports guy?
Sweet Robin, when this AU, we have to assume he gets to that point, like I guess. Sweet Robin would want to play sports, and he probably thinks he is going to be like an awesome quarterback. He's wrong, but he probably thinks.
And I think Book Sweet Robin would just immediately be a professional StarCraft 2 player. Like Book Sweet Robin would be a professional. Like show Sweet Robin for sure. He'd come and he'd start playing some sports, and he'd have to go through the ropes, but. I don't know. My opinion on Book Sweet Robin.
He's in low plat and he still calls himself tournament grade.
Yeah.
No, Sweet Robin. From the books, he starts like trying out for some sport. Nobody wants him there because like he's very weak. But then the next day, his mom comes and like demands him on the team. Yes, my son will play, and he will be the best.
So yeah, John Aaron, I feel like Def played football. So I mean, like maybe John Aaron, if he was alive, would have pushed Sweet Robin to play football. So Lysa probably would have.
Super Bowl number 5 right now. John Aaron is the MVP.
Yeah, John Aaron was there playing football.
That's why Rob and Ned were sent to tutor with him. It's so they'd be better at football.
Look, John Aaron is probably the reason why Pycelle left the football team back when it was all leather caps. He just got tackled so hard by John that he was like, fuck this, I'm going to be a maester.
That I'm not having a great time talking about this. We are a fifth of the way through the first question.
Yeah.
We do need to feather the gas here a little bit.
Barristan
Barristan played football. Barristan also fenced.
Drogo
plays football.
Khal Drogo played everything.
High school football team, and they just wouldn't listen.
Yeah,
he's been part of the high school football team for 15 years.
Yeah, in the AU, he is actually a pro quarterback.
Jorah also plays football for sure. Daenerys, I don't think she was doing sports personally. I think she was more of like interested in reading and animals and shit. You know, she would have been like she would have been in like the 4-H. Grey Worm plays sports for show. Grey Worm was forced to play sports by his parents. You know?
Yes.
By the orphanage.
Missandei, I don't know. Book Missandei, probably not.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Missandei's in the manga club for sure.
Just for the sake
of history club.
Just for the sake of expediency, I would like to reiterate that our answer was oh yeah. Yeah,
100%. This person
absolutely.
Varys no, Viserys no, Rhaegar
no.
Rhaegar maybe. Oberyn is my guess because of the way they answered this question.
Ooh.
Oberyn's my guess because of the way they answered. But
Oberyn's very good.
Viserys the second. No, he never played no sports.
he talked about it. He said if I
Viserys II or Viserys III, whatever it was, he claimed to play sports, but he never did. Catelyn,
he probably heard stories about other people and
Cat was
told
playing
like,
golf.
it was him.
Catelyn, I don't think so. Eddard, Robb, yes. Sansa, no. Bran, he would have wanted to. So I think he would try even if he was crippled.
He spent all that time talking about it.
Arya played sports. Once again, Arya wrestled on the boys' team even though she was a girl. Rickon played some sports. John played some sports. Asha hella played some fucking sports.
Hodor played football.
Hodor played sports. Lyanna played sports.
Jor played sports.
Yes, played sports. Samuel got forced to play sports. Yeah. Dolores Ed just got high and listened to Grateful Dead. He got high and listened to Grateful Dead. Yeah, whole time high and Grateful Dead.
You didn't turn Samuel.
He was the one. He was the one buying weed from Mance.
Sam. Don't. I mean, yeah.
See, Sam got forced to play sports, so I'm curious about Sam.
So that's tough to say.
Bloodraven played sports because everyone in his generation played sports. Aemon played sports for the same reason. Alistair played sports. Loras played sports. Mace played sports. Marjorie and Olenna didn't play sports. I don't think.
Yeah.
Like Hawking, but I don't know if Hawking's a sport. Again,
you guys are being so generous.
Rain played sports. Podrick played sports. The Hound played sports. Theon played sports. Euron played sports.
Aemon Targaryen went to nerdy boarding school at age 13.
No, they still forced him to play sports. Everyone in his generation got forced to play football in high school.
Yeah, but the answer was hell yeah, guys. We should remove Samuel and Aemon.
Right. We have more questions too to narrow it down further. So
remove Samuel and Aemon.
All right, take out Shireen. Take out Mel. I don't think they played sports. Yeah. I think Davos and Robert and Renly all played sports. Damon is arguably an answer to the question also.
Alicent, no. I think Davos had to get a job at
I was going to say 14, Davos had to get a job to support his younger siblings, so he wanted to play football, but he wasn't allowed to. Stu.
Don't let them trick us, guys. Don't let them trick us. They're the opposing team.
And his favorite part about working with Stannis is the pickup games of football they play now.
Okay, you know what? We probably could have flipped more, but I'm happy with that.
You satisfied with this?
Okay.
I'm happy with the cuts we made because we now have a good vibe for this character to pull on.
I have a good follow-up question too.
Okay. All right, Mira, here we go. Do you have a question? Because I have a question.
You go ahead and ask yours, Tom. I got one for the next one.
All right. So your character does your character get invited to the underground college party, and if so, do they go?
He's hosting.
Yes.
It.
Yes to both. Yeah.
You don't say.
Yes to both. Yeah, yes to both for sure.
Okay. All right. Let's start working on this. Tywin wouldn't get caught dead. Tyrion absolutely would host a college for sure.
Tywin would go, but he would go through he would go mid party, and nobody would know that he was there.
Oh, that's
I don't know that Tywin would go. I don't know that Tywin would go to a party.
Yeah, he would follow a tunnel underneath the party and go in disguise.
Exactly. He would be there, but nobody would know that it was him. He would wait for everyone to be passed out drunk, and he would go.
And then he'd show up and hang out.
All right. In this top row, I'm definitely flipping Pycelle in the Mountain. I feel like I'm flipping Marcella and Tommen and Joffrey too, maybe?
Yeah, I feel like people wouldn't give Joffrey the password. Yeah. He would want to go, but they wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, you're right.
Not invited.
I think that it could be any of the three Lannister siblings.
You think Tyrion's getting an invite?
I think Tyrion's throwing the college party, sure.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
Craster and Gilly, I'm flipping. They don't know what's going on. Mance gets an invite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rattleshirt does not get an invite, though he really tries. Tormund upends the keg and drains the whole thing.
Yeah, I was going to say Tormund is the one supplying the beer.
Yeah, Tormund is a good
Tormund
for a party host.
Keg stand for Tormund for sure.
Egret is going. I feel like Peter is he's too cool for school for the party.
So I will say that Peter is probably supplying the coke, though. He's probably not going. He's probably not going, but someone is stopping by his house to pick up the coke first.
I mean,
after he gets the money for the coke, then he rats out the party.
Unless Kathleen's going.
Unless Kat's going, that's true. That's true.
That's true. If Kat's going, then he's definitely going, and he's making a big deal about how he supplied the coke.
He's going to a 7:00 party at 6:55.
Yeah.
Lisa and Sweet Robin and John Aaron are not going to the party.
John Aaron's the one they're hiding the party from.
Yes, exactly.
John Aaron's why they're hiding the party.
They're having it at the Erie.
Right, John's on vacation.
All right, what do you think about this row, Mira?
Oh man, Drogo is definitely going to the party
for sure.
He's not hosting himself.
Barristan wanted to go and then guilted himself and stayed home.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
That's totally believable.
He's the DD. He's coming to pick everybody up at the party.
Yeah.
Jorah's not going to the party, right?
No. Nah.
Daenerys
is going to the party, but nobody wants her there.
Oh no! Okay.
I'm just imagining like a scene from like a like teen comedy. It's like, oh my god, you'll never believe who just walked in.
Look, if I'm ever in a movie and Daenerys shows up, I'm gonna say exactly that.
How dare you? Grey Worm and Missandei, perhaps? They can go. They can come to the party.
Yeah, they can go to the party. That's fine.
Varys and Viserys, I'm flipping.
Varys not at the party? Really? I feel like Varys is at the party for sure.
Is he sneaking into the party?
Well, like no, he's there. He's there. He's pretending that he doesn't care, but he's like pretending that he's drinking alcohol, but he's drinking water because he wants to know everything that's happening.
He's there for the gossip.
He's there for the goss, and he's also an informant for the police. And the
John Aaron.
He's playing all sides. And John Aaron, yeah. Well, John Aaron's the dean.
Peter's an undercover high school student.
I love that we just turned this into a college movie.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Who else would be dean if not John? John Aaron's totally a dean.
What? They let Viserys into the party because they were worried that he was gonna like throw a fit.
Yeah,
drink himself to death in the hallway.
Dude,
nobody wants him there either.
I was thinking the same thing. He's the guy they conspire not to invite, but shows up anyway.
Anyways, oh lord.
Oberyn might be my guess because I think that he would throw the party.
Oh yeah,
Oberyn would throw the party for sure. Oberyn would throw the party.
All right. How about over here? Oh sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, Catelyn's not at the party.
I agree.
Eddard goes if Robert makes him.
Yeah, I don't think he's there by choice, though.
No.
Okay.
Rob would go to the party if Talisa Maygear is there. Sansa's at the party.
Bran has been to an infinite number of parties. I cannot, in good conscience, flip Bran on any question.
Okay.
Arya goes to the party.
Time traveling Bran has traveled so much, but he wasted all of his time partying. He only traveled back to the wildest parties.
This is
like, oh shit! I was supposed to save the world.
Zach, this is an
hangover.
This is an excellent sci-fi novel pitch.
This was legit my pitch for a movie where somebody builds a time machine. They're like, we could go back and save the world, and then just go back and party way too much.
That's an episode of Family Guy.
Save it while hungover.
I'm flipping Rick on he's a child. John, does Ygritte drag John to the party?
John goes to the party and mopes in the corner all night.
Sure,
absolutely. Ygritte drags John to the party, or John meets Ygritte at the party.
Yeah, he finds one person in the corner, like he did with Tyrion at the feast in the first episode. Right, he finds one person in the corner, and they just sit down there sadly.
He's petting the dog.
Asha's at the party.
Hodor.
I think Hodor's at the party.
Hodor.
Everybody loves Hodor.
Sure. Yeah, Hodor gets an invite.
Also, if you know the actor who plays Hodor, he's DJing the party.
Hodor.
Yeah.
All right. Olenna Tyrell will like on the DL supply the kegs for the party.
Yeah, I feel like if she showed up, nobody would be mad. They'd be like, yeah.
But she's
Marjorie's at the party.
She's like, absolutely do not tell Mace.
Absolutely do not tell Mace.
Loras is at the party.
But only because Renly's at the party.
Exactly.
Alice, no, get out of here.
Alistair Thorne is reporting the party.
Aemon's not at the party.
Does Eamon? I feel like Eamon threw a rager while he was at the Citadel, but just one.
Yeah.
He got his last chain, like the last link of his chain. He threw the biggest rager the Citadel's ever seen.
Yeah, the party chain.
Yeah. If Blood Raven's at the party, it's for the same reason as Varys.
Yeah, he's at the party for the same. He goes to the party like he went to the tourney in the Mystery Night.
He's in disguise as someone else.
He's there to fuck somebody up.
He's there. He's Maynard Plum. Ed's at the party.
Yeah, okay.
Ed brought the weed.
Sam brought board games because he thought it was a different kind of party.
Yeah.
Well, I know some nerds that like just went to a normal like birthday party and they just brought like Magic the Gathering decks and they just stood there playing Magic the Gathering while people were getting lit. So, I mean, I know many people like that.
That sounds like me sometimes.
He and John are playing Munchkin in the corner. All right. Gior is not at the party, but he does like kind of turn the other way. Well, because he knows it's going on, but he's like, "You kids."
He's not going to rat them out to John Aaron.
Exactly.
I think
old man Aaron.
She's not at the party unless Jaime's there.
Yeah, she's not at the party like almost on principle.
Or if Renly is there.
Yeah, that's true. If Renly's at the
happenings.
Yeah, Brienne's there. Brienne's there because Renly's there.
Say again.
I'm just imagining the like high school like teenage romance movie this is, where it's like, but Brienne, Jaime's gonna be at the party, and the expression on her face changes all of a sudden. And there's like a makeover like montage.
Yeah, and she's like, "Why would I want to?"
Oh my god! And that's when she wears the pink dress that doesn't look good on her.
Yeah. She's like, "Why would I?"
Everyone tells her like, "Oh, boys love when girls wear pink," and she's like, "Oh, are you sure?"
Yeah, and she looks completely ridiculous by the end of it. And then like sometime at the like party, somebody like pours something all over her, and she has to like change out of it. But then like
Jaime goes and sits with her, and
Right, but
and then she comes back in chainmail and has a fight for honor.
She's chasing.
and like Jaime gets very drunk, and like there's a fight, and he hurts his hand, and he's like pissed off.
Like she's out here chasing Jaime, but she ends up with Tormund at the end of the party.
Oh no!
I would also watch that movie. You think the Hound is at the party?
Say again. Oh, where?
Only if his brother is not.
The Hound.
I think he's not. I think he's writing fanfic at home like Lysa.
Yeah, he's too cool for school too. Theon used to go to the party.
Yeah, Theon. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave him flipped up for the moment. We can talk about it.
There was a time.
Back in the day, Theon would throw the party. Back in the day.
That is true. Yeah. This is true. Euron also will throw the party. It will be a different kind of party.
Nobody wants to be there.
It'll be a different kind than everyone expected, but it'll be
it'll be the rave in the opening of the first Blade movie.
Yeah, it'll be one. That's exactly the scene I was thinking about. I was thinking about that scene precisely.
Yes, I was reading your mind. I was reading you from Blade, the Blade movie.
You're damn right.
Right. I thought of the party with the summoning demons of Devilman Crybaby. Also,
I was also thinking about
that would also be a good stand-in.
I was also thinking about Constantine. He throws that kind of party.
Oh yeah,
I'm forgetting the name of it. There's a recent French movie where there's at a party and somebody spikes the punch with LSD and nobody realizes it until it's too late.
Zach,
isn't that what Train Spotting is? I haven't seen Train Spotting.
Zach, I want you to recall that was a scene in a D&D game you GM'd.
Oh yeah,
that was fun.
French people, stop ripping me off.
Aaron used to throw parties, but he doesn't. Roose is not at the party.
I flipped him over. Roose is not there. Ramsay shows up.
And nobody wanted him there, and they're all super uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Ramsay is that guy who you don't want to be at the party. And you're like, oh, God, Ramsay's just here.
He walks into the party, and the whole party goes quiet like an Old West saloon.
Stannis is not at the party.
No, he is not. Shireen is not at the party. Melisandre is an interesting one.
I feel like Mel might show up to the party, and like she thinks everybody likes her, but nobody actually wants her to be there.
Agreed wholeheartedly. Davos does not go to the party.
Like, go to festivals, but she just likes to go to Burning Man.
Davos has to babysit his siblings.
Correct. Robert,
he wanted to go.
You cannot keep Robert and Renly away.
Robert is throwing the party. He is a party thrower.
You cannot keep Damon and Rhaenyra away.
Yeah. Rhaenyra is gonna show up dressed as someone else, and then she's gonna fuck it.
Damon's gonna take Rhaenyra to the party.
And then her parents gonna be like, "Oh, you were there. I can smell alcohol." And she's like, "This is a vile accusation." I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh no.
Otto is not at the party. Alicent wanted to go, and then I think Viserys would go to the party.
Otto is currently involved in creating legislation to ban all parties.
and Alicent against her wishes is going along with it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Viserys would go with Damon.
This was an instruction manual.
Viserys goes to the party with Damon. Viserys likes a good booze.
Secretly wanted to go to the party, but like since everyone says like parties are bad, she's like, "Hi, people who party are like disgusting."
Oh yeah, I've never partied. I've never even thought about partying.
Yeah, I don't know. How can you do that? Oh my god.
Oh my god. What, you went to a party and like drank? Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's like
yeah, oh my god, you're gonna get in trouble with John Aaron.
Yeah.
No, Alicent would use the like we're young minds that are still developing. She'd use the like science one on you that makes you feel bad, but you're still just like, come on, step in a square and get drunk.
All right, I'm happy with this. Mira, you happy with this?
I love it.
All right, pass turn.
All right, I'm gonna grab my laptop.
Who has a question? First of all,
I have
the question. I do want to give Tom some shit for rolling over my Melisandre joke.
I'm sorry. Say again. What was the joke?
I said, people think that Melisandre likes to party because she mentioned going to some festivals, but she just really likes Burning Man.
That was good.
That is good.
I have a question, Zach. If you don't mind me asking the question.
I'm sorry, Zach. I missed it. That's a really good joke.
All right. Would our person that we're trying to guess here feel comfortable, or are they? Did they frequent like the discotheque? Like, would you find them at the disco scene? Were they discoing?
Frequent?
70s all AU.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think they've been to the discotheque, but I would not call them a regular.
I would agree wholeheartedly. I would say they, if they ever went, it's been a while.
Okay, so Tywin, get Tywin the hell up on out of there.
Tywin, Charles Dance went there, but Tywin didn't.
Tywin didn't. Yeah. I don't think so.
Of course, because Charles Dance.
There was a discotheque in there.
And I just a point of clarification. Not opposed to it, just doesn't.
Just not their thing.
Yeah, not opposed to it, just not their thing. Yeah, see, because I feel like Ty would be morally opposed to disco.
Yeah.
Joffrey, Tommen, I just don't think they disco. Like Jamie, keep him up there.
Would disco if they were like if.
Because this person also hella played sports. They like super played sports. So Jamie's a great one. John Aaron, no.
Super.
Tommen, I still think no. Craster, get Craster out of here.
Yeah. Flip.
Yeah. Craster's opinions on disco are like Yvonne and Lean's opinion on jazz music. That's like he's just not even in the club.
I feel like Vance definitely like that kind of fits. Like, yeah, I discoed back in the day. Everybody did.
Mance could have discoed. Rattleshirt never discoed. Tormund
wanted to disco.
Tormund tore it up at the discotheque, which is why I want to kick him out.
Oh my god, I love this. I love the idea of Tormund Giantsbane just tearing it up in bell-bottom pants.
No, dude, he was there. He was there every night.
Change his clothing here. You could just say, "Look, it's Tormund, member of the Bee Gees."
Yeah, no, he was there every night getting weird. So like, I just think he's not like a did it once or twice back in the day kind of guy, so we can flip him if this is flip
him just in case they have a different read on Tormund. I agree with your read on Tormund, but I could see the Tormund did all sorts partying, so it wasn't just disco for him. So it's been like if you invite him to go to a disco night, it'd be cool with it.
Zach's out here playing to win.
I feel like at that time, Tormund would have been tearing up the disco scene. Ygritte,
no. I could see somebody not.
So
Ygritte goes to punk shows.
Get Ygritte and Sweet Robin out of there. Get those two out of there.
Ygritte really liked the Ramones. Sweet Robin, I don't know. That's it.
Oberyn hella lived that disco life. He hella lived that disco life.
He was there often.
Tormund and Oberyn, if you told me that they did anything, I would believe you.
They have the Daemon Targaryen things. Like, yeah. If you told
Rhaegar was too busy like reading weird history books and things about the occult and like peeping his local high school to be like, like at the disco, I think. Like, so I say get rid of Sweet Robin, get rid of Rhaegar.
I can't tell you how much I hate the phrase peep in his local high school.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not disputing.
But I would say get things that are true.
Yeah, get him and Sweet Robin out of there. I would say.
I think Rhaegar would have went like Elia would have taken him once or twice because Elia probably like really. Okay,
I mean, I can see Elia going to the disco. Maybe Rhaegar went to the disco, but Sweet Robin, no. Get Sweet Robin out of there. What's Sweet Robin doing?
Okay, yeah, you're right. Sweet Robin didn't go.
Sweet Robin doing there. Grey Worm, I don't feel it. If you feel it, keep him, but I don't feel it personally.
I don't particularly feel it.
I mean, he hella played sports, but I don't feel him at the disco. Jorah was at the fucking disco. Jorah was disco Elysium. Only man that joke.
Like he signed a really bad contract with Barry Gordy, and like he resents it to this day.
Khal Drogo was performing on stage during the disco age.
He was one of the village people.
Yeah, he was in a band, just straight up. Barristan, I feel like Barristan was like disco's ruining our culture. We should be listening to like classic rock or something, or the
Beatles. He thought classic rock was too hard. He was like,
whatever's pre-classic, pre-classic rock. I mean, like I think Barristan listened to the Beatles. Barristan would be like the Beatles.
Barristan was listening to country. Modern day Barristan listens to classic rock.
Should we get rid of him though? Because I don't think he's in the disco.
Yeah, you're right. He wouldn't have been in a disco. The dancing would have been.
You don't think he would have gone if his friends wanted to go?
Hold the phone. You can't see Barristan sell me in platform shoes.
I mean, he's not like. I think about his whole life.
I think if the rest of the Kingsguard said we're doing a disco night, he would have played along. He wouldn't have been happy about it, but he would have played along.
I mean, maybe if the whole Kingsguard, but he also might have just stayed home. Like, I don't know if Barristan goes to the disco. I'm just saying. Barristan goes to the boxing gym. I don't think he goes to the disco.
He's going to be performing. He's going to play Burn Baby Burn.
How?
Oh my God.
Oh man!
Yeah, no. See, that's the only that's the only reason Barristan had been up at a disco is if he was working security for one of the bands. Like Barristan goes to the disco because he works security. That's like that's the same as going to the disco. He doesn't go to the disco like fucking Jorah went to the disco.
R.I.G. I had no idea you were such a disco expert.
I just have strong opinions.
I'm sorry. I believe they call someone who's very knowledgeable on that subject a discotheque.
Oh my God!
Got him.
Oh, that was good. That was good. That was a great pun. Eddard, I think probably might have gone with Robert a couple times.
He went to see KC in the Sunshine Band, and somebody said that doesn't count. But yeah,
Rob, no, I'd get Rob out of here. Same with Bran and all the Stark kids. Frankly, get him out of here.
Rob listens to like 90s alternative rock and nothing else. Rob has a really, really strong, like really, really hot takes about like Goo Goo Dolls albums.
As we know, Bran is the free space.
I know. Get Bran out of here. Arya, get out of here. Rick, all the Stark kids out of here.
Arya snuck into a disco once.
Are you really keeping Arya and Bran? I don't know. We
can't flip Bran because Tom subscribes to time traveling multiversal.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, if we're really trying to narrow people out, I think we can flip Arya and Jon. Keep Osha, keep Hodor, keep Lyanna.
Jon went to a disco and somebody offered him a dance and he said, "I don't want it."
Jon got invited. Jon got invited to a disco and he said, "No, I'm sorry. I have to go to class later."
Lyanna went.
Lyanna went. Osha, Hodor went. I'm down with all them. Mace, he went to the disco for show. Loras goes to the disco. Alistair, no. Alistair, get Alistair out of here.
No. Alistair hates disco. Aemon went, but it's been a while.
Bloodraven, I feel like might have frequented. He might have frequented the disco. Sam, no. Jorah, yes. Breen, no. Podrick, no. The Hound, maybe. Honestly, Hound, I could see him showing up at the disco bar. To be honest,
yeah, Podrick.
He wouldn't talk to anybody or dance.
If Renly invited her, like if Renly's like, "I'm going to the disco tonight," and knowing George, it would be a Village People concert, and be like, "Okay, come on, like that's too much of a hint."
Based on what they said to us, I would say let's narrow the field. Get her out of here. Get Podrick out of here.
We're talking about the Hound and his dog's head helm, and all I can picture is that one scene from the Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, no, the Hound. I feel like the Hound might have gone to the disco. He wouldn't talk to anybody, and he would just sat there and drank. But I feel like he might have been there a couple times. Just check it out.
Do you think the Hound puts an afro over the top of his helmet?
Oh gosh!
I love this 70s AU of A Song of Ice and Fire that we're building up.
Me
here.
too. This is fun.
Beyond someone who watches way too many blaxploitation films, this is perfect. No. And I'm mad at George R. R. Martin didn't write it this way.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Theon, what do you guys think? Theon, the disco? I'm suspicious, no, because I just don't know that he discos. But
so in this AU, what year is it right now?
We're just imagining. In my mind, this is if they were there in the 70s during disco time, were they discoing hardcore? And you guys said they weren't doing hardcore. But they'd been to the disco a little bit. They'd been there.
Okay.
Yeah, they were not a regular, but they have been to the disco on at least one occasion.
That's why I feel totally. I would personally feel totally comfortable flipping Tormund and Jorah and anybody who I know was at the disco every fucking night for at least a year straight. I would flip them.
Yeah, isn't opposed to it, but is not their style.
Yeah, Theon, Euron, Asha, I would say get all of them out of there. Aeron, definitely, I'd get him out of there. Roose.
The thing is, Euron would have owned a club and then shown up occasionally for appearances to keep appearances.
Yeah, Euron is another weird free space.
Euron,
I don't know. I get Euron out of there. Get Aeron out of there. Roose, I feel like went to the disco. He won't tell you about. You'd never know, but you catch a weird picture on someone else's.
I don't think so.
What books have you been reading?
Straight up, you'd go to Wyman Manderley's house, and on the mantle would be a picture of him and Rickard Stark and Roose Bolton, and they'd all be in their disco shit and the shiny sequins and stuff. And you'd be like, "No fucking way! Who's that?" And he'd say, "Oh, it's Roose Bolton."
He's gonna be out here stabbing somebody to the tune of respect.
He was there though. I swear to God, Roose was there.
He definitely seems more
like cleaning Roose's room, and he's going to see a poster of Gloria Gaynor and be shocked. And then Roose is going to be like, "I saw her at a club in '76. She had such beautiful skin."
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. Roose was there at the disco. He was there. He was there.
I love this game.
He was not there for the right reasons. He was there for weird shit reasons.
Serial murdering people or something.
I think Zach just lost his Roose Bolton privileges.
All right, Ramsay. No, get him out of here.
The Roose is loose.
Ridley. If this was the time of disco, Renly and Robert would have been there every day.
Renly and Robert would have been there every day. Robert would have had his arm around two women, and Renly would have had his arm around two dudes. And they both would have been like, "This is great."
They chest bump each other and wake up on the floor of a discotheque at 7 o'clock in the morning.
It's literally Barney and his brother from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. So I would say give these guys the boot because they were there all the time. I don't think they're.
I think that's fair. I think
there all
the
time.
Yeah.
Davos, I feel like Def went to the disco, but I don't know.
That was once or twice.
I don't know if he went a lot, but he def went. So I feel like Davos is safe. Stannis, no.
Stannis will never be caught dead anywhere.
I don't know. Get the fuck out of here. Viserys, absolutely. Viserys might be our man.
Yeah.
Went to the disco a couple times. Played sports in high school. That's Viserys.
Daemon never missed a night of disco.
Yeah, Daemon was there at all the crazy clubs and shit.
Yeah, I think your Oberyn and Tormund were there too often, but I'm not
going to get him out of here. Jorah also Jorah, get Jorah out of here. Jorah was discoing it up like crazy. Like nobody's business.
I'm not sold on that yet.
Same thing.
Most of the board.
I
think it's safe to leave a couple people.
I don't think that Jorah has ever done anything like crazy except simp.
No, I think what happened was Jorah was like a 50-year-old man, disco hit, and then he went down to the disco club and he picked him up like a 20-year-old girl and he was like, I'm living the life, I'm Jorah. And then the divorce went through and everything was bad. He wound up in Game of Thrones.
No. You know what? I take it back. You got Jorah pegged.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Right there at the
disco. I need you to write that story.
Please.
Say what now? Say what now?
I need you to write that story. I need to see it on AO3.
All right. 5,000 subscribers, and I'll write the Jorah discotheque story. You can hold me to that one.
5,000 words meant.
Audience write fan fiction. Use any of the things we're saying in this video or the last one. This is just free lore for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. What we're doing right now is fanfic mining.
So again, I would say flip Jorah, and I'd even say flip Khal Drogo, but other than that, I'm pretty happy. I think we're on the right track here. We're on the right track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm kind of bending Jaime Viserys. That's the two ways my mind is tilting on this one.
Yeah, Jaime and
Eddard also a safe bet. Eddard's a safe bet. Old man Mormont, safe bet.
Yeah.
Tom and I are strategizing.
All right. So what are we thinking here?
Okay, so I have a question, and y'all can correct me if this is not the proper question format, but I like my question, so I'm going to ask it. We're going to try. So if I confided who my crush was to this person, would they keep it a secret, tell all their friends, or tell the crush directly?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Keep it a secret, I think.
Yeah, I think
keep it a secret.
Yeah, I think they'd keep your counsel safe. Yeah.
Wow, that actually narrows it down considerably.
Quite a bit.
I think this person would keep your secret safe unless they also thought that person was cute, and then they'd ask them out first.
Yeah, no, that's true. 100%.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Peter?
All right.
And probably make fun of you to that person.
If you told this person that you were crushing on a girl that they were into or a guy that they were into, they would immediately go and hook up with that person to spite you. But also that
would throw you down a well.
They can be like your wingman in that scenario. They'd be like, no, absolutely, go for it.
I feel like that fits Tyrion and Jaime. Like Tyrion and Jaime would both be supportive unless you were getting in their way. Cersei would throw you down a well.
You don't think
Cersei would throw you down a well for sure.
Tyrion and Jaime gossip a little bit.
Throw you down a well.
Yeah, I know. I feel like if you confessed your crush to Cersei and you weren't really, really fucking interesting, she'd throw you down a well.
Yeah.
Like that's girl talk with Cersei time. She's like, if you give some gossip for a second or two and Cersei doesn't think you're the coolest person in the world, you get killed.
Yeah, so
just for funnies.
So we're looking for who keeps your secret.
I feel like Mance doesn't care enough to tell.
Yeah, you tell Mance and he's like, what?
He just forgets.
I am doing other things.
Tormund is immediately telling everybody.
Yeah, Tormund goes to the campfire literally the same day.
He's immediately like, hey, Ygritte, I heard Jon likes you.
Ygritte, I don't think will keep your secret.
No, she'll joke about it too loud one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Khal Drogo is an interesting one.
I feel like he is like Mance, he just doesn't care.
I agree.
I feel like your secret's safe with Drogo. I think. I don't think he would betray you.
I think he would just forget. Yeah.
Yeah,
he'd also be like, "Why are you?"
He wouldn't be listening. He would be like, "Yeah, whatever. Why haven't you fucked her already? Like, it's not hard."
Daenerys would keep your secret for 3 months.
Daenerys will tell. Grey Worm will absolutely. Grey Worm and Missandei will absolutely never tell your secret to anybody.
Yeah, they'll keep your secret for sure. Yeah. You don't think Dany would keep your crush secret?
Why, you think Dany would keep your crush secret?
I feel like once again, proximity. Who are you to Dany? Now, if Barristan told Dany her crush, and he did, I think maybe she'd keep. I don't think she's gonna go around blabbing that Barristan was crushed on Ashara. I think she's gonna keep the coven. Well, maybe she wouldn't, but I think so.
Yeah, I think she wouldn't tell anyone, but she, depending on who you're telling her about, maybe she would kind of be a little judgy, but she wouldn't tell. I don't think she would tell.
That's a good way to put it. She'd judge you, but she wouldn't tell.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think if
but also it would be exactly that case when you have a friend who is always dates the worst men in the world, and then you tell her oh, I like that nerdy guy, and she's like, ugh. I'm like, you date a guy who was like arrested 15 times.
You
Becca.
you date a knife guy. You date a knife guy with a purple beard. He has 9 knives on him right now.
Yeah, and he stabbed at a person yesterday.
Knife guys always also have snakes.
Do you think that Dario?
That's generally true. Actually,
do we think Dario has a snake?
Oh no,
Dario definitely
has
some kind of weird pet. He's got some kind of weird
You're right.
pet.
You're right. We got to bail on this joke. I'm flipping over Varys. I'm flipping over Viserys. Ooh,
Rhaegar.
Yeah.
Right.
Rhaegar's an interesting
Varys would
question.
never keep your secret. Varys would never keep it.
He will find.
Missandei wouldn't. Missandei would tell Daenerys.
Yeah,
that's an interesting point.
Missandei would fucking tell Daenerys.
But we're assuming that they have the same relationship that they do in the show. But if I was friends with Missandei, like she's friends with Daenerys, she would keep my all day. She would never tell.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oberyn absolutely would keep my secret, and he would like try to help me flirt with the person.
No, yeah, see, Oberyn, we wouldn't just try to help you flirt. Oberyn would be like, so, how are we going to make this a 3-way?
Yeah!
Yes.
that is what Oberyn would do.
He is my favorite character in the show. I love him very much.
Yeah.
Him and Asha, they're my people. Rob will keep your secret. He got you. He got you.
Rob's just too nice of a guy.
Sansa will go to Cersei.
Yeah.
I think Sansa would goss. I don't know if she'd goss to Cersei. She'd goss to Jane Poole though.
What are you talking about? She'll be like, she'll go to Cersei and be like.
You'd only go to Cersei if she also crushed on that person. If you told Sansa you had a crush that was her crush, she'd be like, yeah, Cersei, that person over there is crushing on my crush, and I'm the princess.
All right, gee, this situation.
Cersei, everyone is crushing on Joffrey, and I don't think it's fair.
Exactly, this situation happened in the books. Someone else's secret got in the way of her crush, so she told.
No, I know. I'm just teasing. I'm purely teasing.
Oh, Bran, I'm flipping Bran. He would tell. I don't know who he would tell. Maybe everybody. Literally,
Bran would tell himself back in time in a dream, and then he'd already know when you told him.
And Theon.
You'd confess to him, and he'd be like, "Dude, I already know. He told me back in time."
He would go back in time and tell 18-year-old Ned.
Also, we know that Bran was Catelyn's favorite son. Maybe that's one of the reasons. Probably he was like snitching on everybody.
Ooh. Oh my god.
That's one of the reasons I think he's Catelyn's favorite, because I think he's the snitch.
I think because he was.
Do you have younger siblings? Younger siblings are always the snitches.
I think that Arya keeps your secrets.
Yeah, probably.
Jon keeps your secrets for sure. Asha won't tell. She's got you.
Yeah, she keep a secret. Yeah, they're all pretty safe.
Hodor
keep a secret.
Hodor keep a secret. I'm gonna flip Hodor though, because I can't really see Hodor asking anybody out.
Hodor would just say Hodor, man.
Yeah, because that's what the other part of it. They said they would shove you down to get to the person first if it was someone they had a crush on.
Lyanna, I'm not gonna flip just because we don't. I feel like we don't have enough about. No, we don't know enough about her to characterize her for this question.
Yeah.
Olenna's
telling everybody.
You think Olenna tells everybody?
Olenna's using it strategically against you in the future.
You're right.
That's what I was saying. Daenerys does. Daenerys and Olenna.
I'm flipping both of them. Okay. I'm flipping Marjorie and I'm flipping Olenna. Loras has got you most of the time.
Loras tells Renly.
I can really see like Olenna knowing this, and she would be like, Marjorie, there's some random girl trying to get your crush.
You're right.
You get him.
Loras and Renly tell each other in the first 15 minutes.
Right, because that was part of it. Like, do they keep your secret? Do they tell their friends? Or do they go directly to your crush? And they said, keep your secret. So if somebody goes to their best friend, then they're not keeping the secret. You're right. And that's why I was saying Daenerys and Missandei should get flipped.
We can, we'll come back to them at the end. We'll come back.
Yeah.
Aemon will absolutely keep your secret.
Yeah.
This man lied about being a Targaryen for like 60 years. Bloodraven will tell anyone he thinks it will help. Ed will keep your secret. Sam will. Brienne will die before telling anybody. Pod keeps your secret.
Podrick would def keep a secret, yeah. Theon would not keep your secret.
It does.
Theon would, unless he wanted to get to that person himself.
Ooh, that's actually very interesting.
Theon would absolutely shove you in the mud to get to that person.
Now hold on. I think that he gossips to Rob.
I think Theon gossips to a bunch of people personally. I know, but
okay.
Theon will gossip to the next attractive woman to come up and say, "Tell me a secret."
That's true. Okay.
That or just like the kennel master, like he'll just be like hanging out, feeding the dogs, and be like, I heard this thing just a minute ago.
But I think if he liked you, and if you asked him not to, like if he didn't have any reason to tell the secret, I think he'd keep.
We can keep him up. I like that argument. We can keep up. You're on though.
Your secrets are not safe with Euron.
Euron would just say it.
Is anything safe with Euron ever?
In fact, your life is made worse whenever Euron learns information about you.
Yeah, that's your
life is worse whenever Euron learns anything.
Asha would make fun of you. I think
Asha would make fun of you, but she would not tell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I should roast you, but not tell you.
The second Robert starts drinking, he starts telling everybody. Melisandre will tell anyone who it services.
Rhaenyra is telling somebody. Rhaenyra is telling Alicent.
Sure.
Rhaenyra is telling Daemon. And Daemon's telling everyone.
Rhaenyra is telling Harwin.
Yeah.
How about Viserys?
Viserys is confessing to Alicent for sure. The first chance he gets in like one of his crying sessions.
Yep, he's getting drunk. He's getting drunk and crying in front of a fire and being like, "Tom really likes Catherine."
Catherine Janeway?
Correct. I'm pretty satisfied with this. Let's talk about Daenerys and Missandei.
I feel like Daenerys would not keep a secret for noble purposes. Like Daenerys would keep your secret if it like benefited her.
Interesting.
You
mind if I keep him? I want to keep him.
Yeah, and I think Missandei would keep Daenerys' secrets, but she wouldn't keep anybody else's.
I've been assuming that that I am the Daenerys in this scenario, but you're right. This is a good point. What was our first question?
What was your first question? That's a good question. That's a good question.
Oh, you asked about the party.
Yes.
College party. College party.
Okay.
About they get the password and then they go.
And they might be the one to throw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Missandei's not throwing a party.
You're right.
Missandei's not throwing a party.
Grey Worm is also not throwing a party.
Is Arya throwing a party?
Arya would throw a party.
Arya and Sandor together would throw an amazing party.
Yeah. Pod's not throwing a party. Sam's not throwing a party.
Is Dolorous Ed throwing a party? I don't know. See,
Dolorous Ed is having a weed party.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dolorous Ed is throwing a kickback every day, all the time in his room.
So my front runners right now are Asha, Oberyn. Yeah, those are my front runners right now, I think. What do you think?
I like those. I also
two very fun characters, two of the best.
Right. They keep the secret.
I also like Drogo.
I like Drogo too. They keep the secret of who your crush is and throw a kick-ass party.
Oh man, what a magical trifecta!
But they're also they were at the disco a couple times, but weren't regulars. So you gotta think about it. If everyone fits that description, right? Or was that ours? Which one was that?
That was yours.
You guys.
Okay, I'm so confused now.
I am willing to pass the turn. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
So wait, how many questions have we asked? Have we asked you more questions than you asked us?
It has been two questions each.
Okay.
So, Mandy, your turn to ask a question.
Okay. So let me see what we have.
Do you have a solid guess, Mandy? Like, do you have anybody that you just totally think it is?
No, I'm still thinking. But let me think about the question. So it needs to be like kind of a yes or no question, right?
Kind of. The rules are a little nebulous. And also, if it's funny, we're just going to answer it.
Okay.
Yeah, something that yes, no, or maybe would be a good answer for.
Okay, so we have since we answered like the question of sports, we have a lot of guys who are interested in sports. I wanted to do an anime question, but I think it's not gonna help a lot.
Oh boy.
Question for us to go for it.
Okay, so I was gonna ask like if what would be like their the kind of anime they would like to watch, but I think it's better to think like if they would watch anime at all.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they're like, what's an anime? What does that taste like?
I think that you are correct. I think that if you really put a gun to my head and said name one that they would watch, it would absolutely be Dragon Ball Z. But I do not think that they watch an anime.
Yeah, so you don't think they watch an anime, and if they did, they saw it on Cartoon Network.
It's possible that they have never watched anime in their lives.
Okay.
It's possible that they don't know what it is.
Correct.
Okay. Common, get him out of here.
Jamie watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But yeah, Tommen watched Rent a Girlfriend.
You think everyone watched Rent a Girlfriend?
I don't
watch Rent a Girlfriend that have read the Bible.
That's a hilarious statement. I want to get that on a T-shirt.
Oh my. Okay.
Mance, I don't know if he's watched it. Tormund's tough.
Mance has not watched anime. Tormund, I don't think has watched anime. I just don't think they're anime guys.
Rhaegar watches anime.
Even Jamie, I don't think Jamie.
Yeah, Rhaegar definitely watches anime.
Rhaegar has watched anime. Rhaegar has watched anime.
He watched like
if
one
Rhaegar
anime once, and he based his whole personality on the main character.
He watched Death Note and said it's literally me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jorah does not watch anime.
He said me IRL and then set out to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah. He saw an anime of like people like some guy saving a girl, and he was like, I'm gonna save a girl as well.
Drogo, Barristan, they don't watch anime either. None of those three watch anime.
Barristan doesn't. Khal Drogo. Here's the thing. Khal Drogo, maybe having seen Dragon Ball Z once and really liking it, fits perfectly with my conception of like.
Yeah, but Tom said they probably didn't watch anime, and I'm like, Khal Drogo is out beating people up. He's not inside watching anime. Like, I don't even think Khal Drogo owns a TV. Like, you actually think Khal Drogo owns a TV or has a social media presence? No, he's like beating people up.
Also, you said Barristan doesn't watch anime and then flipped him over.
I know, yeah. Get Barristan back on the table, man.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, Arya and Bran definitely know what anime is, and they've definitely watched it before.
Watched a lot of anime.
Arya's watched the anime.
As we know, Bran has watched an infinite amount of anime.
Yeah, Lyanna.
That's why he chose time travels. Actually,
Lyanna watched anime. Hodor, I feel like, has at least seen Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network.
I feel like you can probably flip over Hodor.
Yeah, Hodor and Lyanna are flips. Hodor's at least seen Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network. Lyanna's watched anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hodor, Lyanna.
Marjorie. Mace.
Yeah.
We should keep up because he doesn't know what anime is.
Correct.
Yeah, Loras knows what anime is for sure.
Bloodraven a lot.
Bloodraven, I feel like Bloodraven as an adult completely watches Miyazaki movies and like doesn't know what anime is, but he still watches Miyazaki films.
Great take.
Yeah, he doesn't know what anime is, but he still watches Miyazaki films. Eamon, I don't know. Eamon's a weird one.
Eamon, I feel like watched anime back in the day. He like watched Astro Boy.
Maybe, yeah. He might have watched. Eamon watched the first anime ever made.
Yeah, so flip him because he's not watching Dragon Ball.
Jorah does not know what anime is. The Hound has
Jorah doesn't know what anime is, but if you show him some waifus, he's gonna be into that.
Yeah, so the Hound has a manga collection that would put any of us to shame, but I don't know if the Hound watches any anime. He might protest the visual medium because one of his eyes is all jacked up.
That's so neat.
I think he watches anime. He's a guy who watches a lot of anime and manga and doesn't really like mention it all that much. He called Joffrey a weeb once, and Joffrey was so mad at him, and he didn't even process the irony.
Yeah. Joffrey flipped on some anime on accident one time, and the Hound was like, "Fucking weeb." But then he went home to read his manga.
Yeah.
So I would say get rid of the Hound, but you could keep him. Who knows? I don't It probably is the Hound. The Hound also is a great answer for this question if we're reading him wrong. So maybe keep him out just because he was a great answer for the first two.
He's a great fit for the first two.
Yeah.
Euron, I don't know if he knows what anime is, but I'm like,
Euron writes anime, and it's like
Euron writes anime.
Euron writes like real like weird.
Euron is spending his time torturing people. He doesn't have time to write.
Yeah, and I think Euron.
Have you watched any anime in the last few years? Like that was all Euron's plan.
No.
Animating
a long time ago,
Rent a girlfriend.
No, a long time ago, I had a
friend.
Yeah, a long time ago, I had a friend who showed me some of the goriest flicks ever made because he was in this like into gore fest shit hella. And it was grotesque. That's Euron. That's what Euron does. Euron's like, hey, you guys want to watch a movie? This movie won a bunch of awards, and he shows you the movie that won the most awards for gore in 1986 or some shit. That's Euron. Euron's I don't know about anime. Also, Zach,
but he's not watching Dragon Ball.
Your constant scrolling is like making me ill for some reason.
He's designing and animating tentacle hentai, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Why would you say something?
I guess.
So
Roos doesn't know what an anime is.
It's so true.
Davos's kids watch anime, so I know. Roos does not know what an anime is. Davos's kids watch anime, so he knows what it is, but I don't know if he watches it with them. What do you think?
Anime. And Viserys is one of those people where, like, he might have watched Dragon Ball.
No, Viserys has models. Viserys absolutely watches anime and has a massive manga collection.
You're totally right.
Yeah. Me and Viserys, So me and Viserys have matching Sesshomaru tattoos.
Oh my god!
Like Viserys is in the trenches.
Viserys has such a high quality Warhammer set.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Unlimited money and time and nerd interest. Viserys is an anime freak.
Oh my god, I'm jealous.
Right? Yeah, right.
Oh, and yeah, he's probably like trying his best to make Rhaenyra a fan of his animes as well.
Yeah, I would get Euron out of there because I also don't think the disco thing applies to Euron.
Euron
must understand.
So I'm comfortable with this. I might get rid of Osha. I don't know if Osha reads manga or watches anime, but like, she might. Maybe.
If she saw something, it wouldn't have been Dragon Ball, so I think we can flip her.
Jorah as well. I don't think Jorah would watch animes. Like, I don't think Jorah would watch Dragon Ball.
Jorah watches a lot of anime. But the problem is, I think Jorah is lonely and watches magical girl anime.
Personally, I think Jorah listens to Alex Jones and shit and doesn't have time for anime because he's too busy declining like the downfall of Western civilization and like stalking young girls. But that's just me. I read Jorah differently. I think Jorah. I think Jorah's like your whack grandpa. He's like your whack uncle. That's Jorah.
No, I can see him watching anime, but I think he would watch things with like many waifus and like those harem kind of things. I don't think he's watching Dragon Ball.
Okay, all right, I'll buy that. Jorah, if Jorah found the isekai, he would fucking go head over heels.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's found it though. Has anyone shown Jorah the isekai? That's the question. Has anyone shown it to him?
He's divorced. Of course he's seen isekai.
Jorah is on Twitch paying like $1,000 to a girl to call him senpai.
Oh my god!
The cosplay of Daenerys.
Yeah, I think Jorah's just more real than that. Jorah's at an actual strip club pouring real booze down his throat, like throwing actual pocket change at real women. That's Jorah. You know, like,
Jorah watches VTubers.
Oh my god!
I don't know if Jorah's got time for anime. I think Jorah is IRL out there having a horrible life.
You know? Is it wrong to pick up Khaleesi in a Khalasar?
I mean, if you don't think that people spending $1,000 for a girl to call him senpai is not having a bad life, man, I don't know what to tell you.
But that life includes you like being in a house, having Jorah's like walking the streets, like he is begging for change, you know, like Jorah is living his worst life. Being inside, having $1,000 to throw at a girl, you got a good life. You got $1,000 to throw at a virtual girl, you got a good. Jorah does not have that kind of life.
Very bad news about how the economic impacts of throwing $1,000 at somebody on their day-to-day life on Twitch. Not everybody who affords to do that can really afford to do that. Simping ain't easy, as they say.
As much
it's
fun.
Fine. Like I said, I think Jordan.
Yeah,
is simping,
we need to keep moving.
As much fun as this particular conversation is, I have a question for you guys.
Go for it.
Does your character play D&D?
Probably like. I would say yes, if their friends are playing, they wouldn't go out of their way.
Yes, but they've never DM'd a game. They've never DM'd a game. Yes, but they've never DM'd a game.
Yeah.
They've probably played a low double-digit number of sessions with their friends.
Yeah.
It's not their favorite thing, but they'll do it.
He played once and probably played either fighter or bard. Probably a bard.
Yeah. I would say bard. Yeah.
Bard.
Interesting.
Fighter, bard. I could see.
Oh,
I could see a rogue or a cleric if the party needed it.
They like the RP, but someone else did their character sheet for them.
So your answer is yes if their friends are playing.
Yeah.
Okay. Mira, I'm gonna start flipping people.
Okay.
How about give me a what do you think of a boop boop? Right?
Sure.
I think probably a boop. No. Rob's actually kind of a good choice. I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna flip Drogo. I'm gonna flip Mance.
Yeah.
You think Drogo never played D&D? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't see Jamie playing even if his friends.
I think you're probably right.
He'd be like you nerd, and then
he also doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, Brienne is also not. Brienne agreed. She doesn't have friends.
Theon will make fun of those nerds.
Yeah.
You don't see like Brienne playing it just so she can be a paladin.
But who's she gonna play with?
I mean, she could find someone to play.
Jamie!
Other people she would know about it, and she would be like, "You guys gotta let me in. I really want to play."
A bunch of mean boys who are trying to make fun of her and win a bet would invite her to the D&D game, and they would give her a really hard time after a couple games, and she'd leave.
Okay. We don't need to traumatize the audience.
I'm flipping over Brienne. It makes me sad.
Flipped. Yeah.
I'm gonna flip over Dolorous Ed. Well, no, actually, like if John, Sam, and Gren were all playing D&D, he would totally play.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Dolorous Ed is your friend who rallies you up to play D&D in his like never-ending chill sesh room.
I'm gonna flip over Eamon, Mira, because I think he has played hundreds of times.
I feel like Rhaegar is like obsessed with D&D.
Eamon has ran several 1 to 20 campaigns at the wall.
I'm gonna flip over Tyrion for the same reason.
Yeah, Daenerys is just like, screw you nerds. I don't think Daenerys is playing.
I think that you're probably right. Daenerys doesn't have friends whose opinions she respects enough to play games with them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
John,
I like our choices.
Same as Dolorous Ed. What do you think of Arya? I think that we can probably flip Arya. I don't
see her hosting a party. I really think Oberyn's our guy.
I think that.
I mean, Oberyn is definitely playing D&D with his friends for sure. I don't know if he's DMing, but he's certainly playing D&D.
We got some good choices here. Now let's run through. Right? Does Rob host a party? What was our other question?
Rob might host a party.
Host a party, play D&D, and
tell who your crush is.
Keep your secret. Yeah. All of these people will keep your secret for you. I think that that's pretty fair. All of these people would certainly attend a party, and I could see. I don't know if I could see John hosting a party.
I don't think Ed's hosting a party.
All right, I'm flipping over both of them.
Okay.
And play D&D. I think we got Rob, Oberyn, and Asha.
I'm thinking Oberyn. I think Asha might play D&D, but her life is generally too busy.
I think you probably. That's why I'm kind of okay with it, because I could see her playing twice when a ship gets stuck in really nasty weather, and somebody pulls out a set and they play in the bottom of the hold.
The reader has all the books.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
She's played in one of those weird family games.
Yeah. So Tom, I'm comfortable with any of the three. Are we like trying to like guess now?
No, we'll have to wait until our next turn to guess.
Zach, I like Roger the Reader having a whole bunch of D&D. Like, I'm sure he's got riffs and all kinds of other fun games too. That are outside of D&D. But I like that idea that he's got the games. He's the games guy.
Has, like, my sort of like collection of RPG books was like, well, we could play D&D because it's easy to pick up, but I've also got the Star Trek role-playing game here.
Yeah. So
I just got sent this weird esoteric one from Old Town.
Do you guys want to take a guess? I mean, we each asked a question. I think there's a couple pretty good guesses we could just shoot and just see what we get, see how we do.
They went to a disco, but it's been a while, and if they watch anime, it's only Dragon Ball Z. They're not a huge anime person.
Yeah, so I like Jamie.
Drogo stands out the most as like the person it could be.
I like Jamie.
You like Jamie.
Now, just so that we're all on the same page, you guys do have one more. You guys are a question behind. So we've asked 3 and you've asked 2. So if you ask one more,
ask 3. We asked 3.
We've asked 3 also. So that's why I'm saying we've each asked a question. Do we just want to take a guess and just see if we can nail it while we're in the low areas of people? I mean, like, I just didn't know if everyone was thinking the same person. Like, if we all said the same guy, I'd be like, let's just guess it,
Although I can hear, apparently the Overwatch game that my roommates are playing is not going well.
Honestly, thank God.
Or do we want to ask a brand new question? We could ask a brand new question, but like,
I kind of want to narrow it down. Well, okay. I think it's called Drogo, and I don't feel the need to narrow it down anymore. But you seem pretty convinced it's Jamie, and I don't know, Mandy. Who's your strongest guess?
My strongest guess. Okay, person definitely played sports. Don't watch anime, and went to the disco once. So
a couple times, but not
a couple times. It's been a while.
A while.
See, I can't really see the board very well, so I'm trying to
let's not forget here, they did the shit out of sports.
I think Drogo matches the sports, but not the disco thing. I think he was the disco one.
I don't think
feel
Jamie.
Like he discoed hella.
I don't think Jamie would go to the disco because he would be too busy simping over Cersei or working. So
Cersei works at the bar.
I feel like Jamie went to the disco a couple times just for fun, but like, I
wouldn't put my money on Jamie as well. I would have.
The thing is, I think Khal Drogo hasn't been to the disco in a while because he's into metal now.
So, Mandy, what do you feel about Ned or Old Man Mormont?
Yeah, I think Old Man Mormont probably fits better. I would have removed Roose.
I have a question that I think can narrow this down.
Okay.
Would this person be able to make a career out of like a white collar desk job, like in a cubicle?
They survive in a cubicle.
Like would they be able to work there long enough to like make it a meaningful chunk of their life?
This person would not be happy, but has the determination to make it work if they feel like they need to.
Yeah, Drogo out of there.
Mira, is that fair?
Oh, sorry, one more time.
Zach asked the question again.
Would this person be able to work a like white collar cubicle job?
Absolutely.
For long enough for it to be a career.
Or
at least a meaningful chunk of their life.
No.
Interesting.
No, I think he's throwing fax machine. I think they're throwing fax machines out the window.
Interesting.
Before they get tied to a desk.
Now this is you've inadvertently gotten 2 answers. Those
are 2 polar opposite answers too, which is interesting.
My response was they would not like it, but they have the determination to make it work if they feel like they have to.
Okay, wait. So if they're already doing it and they're committed, I think they will stay.
Yeah.
I think if you try to force them into that commitment, they will start throwing fax machines. And
okay.
This person has the ability.
Jamie is a bigger contender now.
This person has the ability to do things that they don't want to do for a long time.
So now I'm with the Hound. The Hound is definitely one that I like.
The Hound.
The Hound and Jamie just shot up in my list. I got Bruce Bolton would love to sit in a cubicle and watch other people suffer. He's actually probably
old man Mormont would do fine in a cubicle, and so would Davos. Davos wouldn't like it though. I think Davos wouldn't like it, but he'd do fine.
Well, then I don't want to flip. Davos would do fine, but wouldn't like it. But yeah, I feel like if you told him you're starting in a cubicle tomorrow, he would be not too happy about that. But I don't think it'd be fun. Unless Stannis told him to.
Tormund, weirdly enough, I feel like would absolutely be happy in an office job because he'd be happy anywhere. I feel like.
Tormund is making jokes about his member at the water.
Yeah, like he's getting Tormund's getting sent to HR. Tormund's getting sent to HR, but he's not like Tormund's in HR, but he's not like hating the job. I don't think.
Tormund has never showed up to work sober.
Mace, I also feel like is fine in a cubicle. So get Mace out of here. Get Mace and Tormund out of here.
Yeah, Mace will be fine in a cubicle.
Tom, we have a visitor.
Oh, we do?
I'm not flipping Tormund. I'm not sold on.
No, get Tormund out of here. He'd be happy in a cubicle.
I can see somebody because Tormund's like the whole like we do not kneel kind of person. If he was already there, he would find joy in it. But if you told Tormund out in the wild you're going to a cubicle tomorrow, he would 100% start throwing like fax machines.
But isn't that what they said? That if he was already in the thing, he'd be fine with it.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. It's like the Hound. I don't think he'd be fine with it, even if he was. The Hound would be that angry guy who quits after like a couple months, or gets in a fight.
No, hold on. You don't think that the Hound can stick it out and things that he doesn't want to do for long periods of time?
I don't know. I think he does
for a very long time.
Okay, I kind of reversed my thought on that for a second there, where I was like, I don't know about the Hound now. I'm kind of the opposite direction, but Jamie, once again, I think Jamie is one of the best contenders. Khal Drogo, I feel like. Once again, that's a difficult answer to that question because you could make
Drogo wouldn't be there.
We can flip. Barristan for sure.
Barristan would be fine in the office. Ned would be fine in the office.
Happy that he's living in a peaceful time and providing for his family.
Ned would love the office.
Khal Drogo would throw a fax machine on a window every day because he thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
So that
Drogo wouldn't be there in the first place.
But you could make a good argument though that if Drogo was just a dude in our society, that he would just become like head of the office. Like Drogo would just be the CEO because he'd just be the most outrageous, and we love crazy CEOs. Drogo would just rise. Drogo would just rise to the top.
I don't know, man. I just can't buy it. Like I can see Drogo inside an office.
All right, well get him out of there. Then. Get him out of there. Mance, I feel like would be fine in an office, but he wouldn't like it because he was like fine the Night's Watch more or less, but he didn't like it. I don't know.
I find it very interesting the very different takes on this very simple question we are having.
Yeah, that was a hard response to do because you guys gave us two very different responses, and I'm like, well, if we're trying to fit it in the bowl, we have
now had three very different responses.
Jamie's still one of my number one guesses. Let's leave it here then. If you don't think Tormund would be a totally cool dude in the office,
I agree.
Okay.
I also kind of think that Wild Tormund, if you wrapped him up and stuck him in the office, I think that he would be okay. Weirdly enough, like he would get mad for like 10 seconds and yell at you, and then you'd like offer him some coffee, and he'd sit down in the cushioned seat, and he'd be like, "All right, fine," and then he'd just turn into a total normal office guy.
Okay. So with 3 humans left, Mira, shall we take a guess?
I think we should, because we have a visitor who wants to play the next round with us. So the sooner we wrap this up, the sooner we can go get our guest.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah. I think yeah.
Is your character Oberyn Martell?
Silence.
I was expecting some kind of response.
Zach, do you want to tell him? Do you want to give him the interesting news?
I've gotten the interesting news, and I'm working on it promptly.
What is happening? Is this a bit?
No. Is it Oberyn?
Is it Oberyn Martell?
The interesting news.
It's not Oberyn Martell. It's not Oberyn Martell.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, it's fine. It's fine that we lost.
Okay.
Because we're gonna play again.
Okay. All right, you guys' turn.
I think. Do you need to bring the interesting guest? Do you need to bring the interesting guest into the right room though? Because I think that we're.
Well, yeah.
Let's just finish the game.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Zach. Goodbye.
Zach's gonna
come Zach's gone. Oh no!
I have been messaging both of you for like 10 minutes.
It was not Oberyn. So if I may now take a counter guess, can I guess Jamie and just Amanda? What do you think? Are you comfortable with Jamie?
Okay, I still can't see Jamie at the disco, but if you want to go with Jamie, I am resigned with that. I am going to accept that.
Then I think we'd like to guess Jamie, so we can wrap up the game. Hopefully it's right.
It is not Jamie Lannister.
I knew it. I couldn't see that. Oh man.
Oh
it was
God.
Surprisingly weirdly close though.
Oh no.
What happened?
Other stuff started popping up on my screen. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna guess Asha.
No.
It's not Asha.
Oh no!
What
a disaster!
Okay, so let me see.
Okay.
So it's not Jamie. Remove Jamie.
Okay.
So what are the others? I see Davos. Who are the other?
Pick
the Hound, Tormund, and Mance. It's Davos, the Hound, Tormund, and Mance now.
Okay, so I don't think it's Davos. I don't think it's
Did
Davos.
you guess Tormund yet? Because that was kind of my guess.
Yeah, let's go with Tormund. I don't think it's Davos.
Tormund?
It's not Tormund.
Watch it be the Hound. It'll be the Hound.
Is your character Robb Stark?
No.
I'm so upset.
No. We're not Robb Stark. No.
Is it the Hound?
I got some real bad news. Your character also still isn't up.
Oh no.
Okay.
We're really bad at this game, you guys.
I'm calling the game. Who are you guys?
Renly.
We're at Renly
Baratheon.
When did we flip Renly?
You flipped him during the would they keep your secret if you told them?
Yeah, because we said Renly would tell Boris who
your
crush was.
Oh, sure. we were Barristan Selmy.
Oh.
So Jamie was weirdly close. Yeah.
Yes.
Barristan. Oh, okay.
It was the office job that got us. Okay.